Not TiGHT is a genre-bending jazz album that was released by DOMi and JD Beck. It is 44 minutes long. It contains 15 songs here. A lot of them feature some pretty big artists, and to be completely honest, I know absolutely nothing about these people, DOMi, and JD Beck. I don't know anything about them, but my one good friend who is really big into jazz and he's just awesome at music and creating it as well. He sent me this album and just said, you need to listen to this because it's really great. And I guess he was super excited about it. And when I looked into it a little bit, I could see why. This seems to be an album in the making for a few years here. So I finally put it on last night. Now this video will be coming out in a few days from now, but this album came out about a week ago, just slightly over here. And I was like, you know what? I don't normally listen to stuff like this, but I will give it a shot. And I gotta say, this is one of the biggest surprises of the year so far for me. I did not expect to enjoy this just because it's not really my thing. I think I would appreciate it more than enjoy it, but to be completely honest, I had a great time with it. Please tell me anything you want about these artists in the comments down below, because again, I know almost nothing about them. I don't even know which one is which here. That's how honest I'm going to be in this review, and this review will not be as long because I'm not going to go super into every single song like sometimes I do with albums, just because some of them kind of mush together for me, at least from memory, stuff like that. I did take some notes here, but overall a lot of this is just from memory, and that's what I like to do with albums from artists that I have no idea who they are. And again, as I said 5 times, I don't know who these people are, but oh my god, they are talented. The first thing I have to talk about, and it's specifically in one song called Sniff, I think, yep, Sniff, it is the drumming. Oh my god. I know jazz drummers are like insane, but god, the drumming on this song blew me away. It's just so fast and tight and compact, and it just like holds your focus. But also when it comes to that, I'm gonna link this live performance down below because I did go out and watch this after. The control that the opposite person has, again, I don't know who's who when it comes to playing the bass notes and then playing the lead parts on the keyboard, like it's just insane to see. And you know, maybe this is stuff that people who are jazz fans have come to expect, but because I don't ever listen to stuff like this, it really took me by surprise. I think this album is really good. That 44 minutes really flies by. There are times at the start of the album, I will say, where I was like, oh, okay, it's just gonna be like some cool kind of jazz lo-fi type stuff, but then the features start coming, and then the album really picks up, and it changes the whole tone of the album through it depending on who the artist they feature is. And for me, it actually really worked. It wasn't like a really sharp left turn or something. I really enjoyed it here. I'm going to go into all the artists and the features on their own, but I just have to keep talking about how great this DOMi and JD Beck are. I'm really excited to see what they'll do in the future. Again, I don't normally listen to jazz, but I would love to listen to whatever they put out next. I really like how they record their vocals too. Obviously, I could probably talk for a few hours on how they record the instruments, but I also don't have the brain capability to understand how they did some of this, so I will just say it is some of the best I've heard of the past few years. I don't really think I could explain more. It blew me away. It blew me away. But something I do know more about is the vocal recording, and I really liked how there is this kind of soft leading vocal that isn't too loud when I'm just talking about like their song specifically, not featuring other people, but below they have like this soft, almost fragile voice that kind of gives that lead vocal, I think that's what I'm going to call it, just this sense of I don't know, presence, I guess. I think that's the best way I can describe it. It makes a lot of the songs feel very vulnerable. I don't know what any of them are really about because I don't know these people, I don't know their experiences, but I was really hooked a lot of the time. And as I said earlier, I was worried that this album would just be repetitive just because I was worried that we were going to get similar drum beats and keyboard parts and all that throughout the entire thing. But no, by the 5th track, which is one of my favorites on here, you guys can probably guess why, I was absolutely hooked and really enjoying my time. The features here though are hit and miss. I don't know fully what they all did on each track, but just talking about the tracks individually, this is what I thought of them, just breaking them down. I think Thundercat does a great job here and really fits the style of these songs well. And although I'm not too familiar with Mac DeMarco, I do know some of his stuff, and his track is one of my favorites on the entire album, probably my favorite feature here. And the Herbie Hancock one is troubling for me. The vocals are just very strange and off-putting on the track, so that took me out of it, but instrumentally it is just probably flawless, I would say. And Anderson .Paak, I think that's his name, his first feature switches up the entire feeling of the album, but somehow the instrumental part in the back still stays similar and fits here. And some of the names you might recognize here are Anderson .Paak, because I did mention it before, Busta Rhymes, and of course, the one and only Snoop Dogg here. And just hearing Snoop Dogg's voice on this album really made me smile. And again, this is one of the songs that kind of changes up the whole feeling and vibe of the album, but it worked for me. The smooth nature of the music surrounding his voice helps change the feeling, but in a great way. Busta Rhymes commands the listener's attention with his very deep and satisfying voice, obviously, and hearing Anderson Peak or Paak, however you say his name, again, was pretty cool. Now, I will probably mess this name up, but Kurt Rosenwinkel's feature brings back the energy of the earlier songs here, and the lead guitar part is wonderful and extremely melodic. I think that this song was like a great way to... The album started off with like this kind of what I expected with it, and then the middle part and kind of towards the ending changed it up, but in a good way. And then this album still helped with the feature, and the guitar part is just fantastic. The clean guitar sounds so good here, but it also kind of wrapped it back around to the feeling of the start. And then we get the song Sniff, which I said is probably my favorite here. This one and the Mac DeMarco song, as well as the Snoop Dogg song and Busta Rhymes and all them. I think that those are my top three here, but the drumming on Sniff is great. It goes into the final one or two tracks, and overall, I really enjoy this album. I know that it's not normally something I would listen to, and I would like to know more about these people, although I don't know how much or if I will ever listen to this album again, and that's just my personal taste. That says nothing about the album. I think the album is really amazing. I'm not 100% sure what I would give it for rating. I think I would go with a 3.5 out of 5 or a 4 out of 5, but again, that's just me. Instrumentally, it's like a 5 out of 5 album, but it's just the feeling overall and how some of it can lose me just a little bit. But if you have listened to this album, let me know what you think of it down below, and again, tell me anything you want to about these artists, because they truly are amazing. And thank you all for watching. I will see you guys next time. Over and out.